Shalom. I am Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. This particular Shabbat, which is the Shabbat before Purim, Purim begins this coming Wednesday night. This Shabbat, we read a special portion of the Torah in addition to the regular portion. And the special portion of the Torah is called Parshat Zachor-our, the section of remembering. And that is read in addition to the regular portion of Vayikra. And what are we remembering? We are remembering Amalek. Amalek is the epitome of evil in the world from the beginning of creation that we have been fighting with all the time. And let me just reference two different places in the Torah where the commandment is made to obliterate the memory of Amalek. First of all, in this reading of this Shabbat, the Torah tells us, remember what Amalek did to you on the way out of Egypt, where he met you on the way out as you were traveling from Egypt, and he attacked those weak people who had fallen behind. And you, children of Israel, were weak, and you didn't fear God. And it will be that when God gives you the ability to overcome your enemies all around you, in the land that I will give you, in the land of Israel, I'll give you a land to inherit. Then at that point, this is the end of days, the time of the Mashiach. Then Timche et Zecher Amalek mitachas hashemayim lo tishkeh. You shall blot out the memory of Amalek, and you shall not forget it. Now, this particular reading comes from the book of Deuteronomy, on Parshat Zachor-our, chapter 25, starting at sentence 17. Before that, earlier in the book of Exodus, we have the first encounter with Amalek. And it says that Amalek came and fought with the children of Israel, Rephidim, name of the place. Rephidim are also translated, can be understood as meaning Rafa Yodayim. Their hands were weak. Their strength, their emunah, their faith in God was weak. And then Moses told Joshua to weaken Amalek. He didn't tell him to destroy Amalek. Amalek, and then so he defeated them and weakened them, but he didn't kill them. And then it says, you should write this in the book. You shall blot out the memory of Amalek from the heaven. And it says, the throne of God will not be complete until you have blotted out the memory of Amalek from generation to generation. Now, we have a lot of things in the Torah that we're told to remember. We have to remember the going out of Egypt. We have to remember standing at Mount Sinai, receiving the Torah. But we have holidays commemorating those events. Going out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt, we have Passover holiday, receiving the Torah, we have the Shavuot holiday, receiving the Torah, but we don't have a specific Shabbat or a specific command to read a particular portion other than on the holidays. Whereas this, on Parshat Zachor-our, this is one of the 4 different special parshot, special sections of the Torah that are added from the first of the month of Adar, which we're in now. We're in the second of Adar second. There are 2 months of Adar this year, until Purim, until Passover. And this is the only one that we have a special Shabbat to read about remembering this. And what is so important that a special day has to be given before Purim, which was the day that uh, Amalek's descendant, Haman, uh, wanted to destroy the Jewish people. Basically, Amalek is the sign of evil in the world and represents anybody or any nation that is trying to destroy the Jewish people, that is trying to destroy God's commandments. We've had a lot of enemies of the Jewish people from the beginning of time. We had the pharaohs. We had different countries that tried to subdue us. We are not told to remember those particular kingdoms, but we're told only to remember that of Amalek. So the question first is, why are we only commanded to remember Amalek? The next question is, what is God telling us when he says in the sentence that I read to you, I read the English, it says, when God brings you rest from your enemies all around you in the land of Israel, in the coming of Mashiach, why does it take until then? Why can't we had the opportunities we saw with Amalek attacking the Jewish people and Moses telling Joshua, weaken them. Why didn't he say destroy them? We had the other times with Amalek. We had with Bilam and Balak. Bilam, the prophet, Balak, the king who wanted to destroy the Jewish people. It's interesting, the last two letters of both names combined spell Amalek. They also could have been destroyed totally, but they weren't. And Amalek, this doubt, this king of evil, so to speak, always comes out at a time when we're nearing our zenith, ready to really get rid of all the troubles of this world and make a total tikkun, a total redemption of what we have done. And this happened many times in the Torah. It happened even going back to Adam Harishon, and his wife and Chava. They ate of the forbidden fruit. Had they not done that, had they not been convinced by this evil desire, this evilness in the world to do that, the world would have been a different place. Similarly, we're ready to go to receive the Torah, and that's when Amalek attacks us. It attacks our faith, attacks the weakness of our faith. God could have destroyed Amalek. God has destroyed, for example, Sancheriv, uh, surrounded Jerusalem, was going to conquer Jerusalem, and he had uh, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of troops around Jerusalem. And he looked at Jerusalem and he thought, "Oh, this is nothing. I've heard so much about it, but it's no great deal. We can go to sleep for the night. We'll wake up in the morning and we'll take over the city easily." And he went to sleep at night, and the entire army was killed by God. We've seen this. So why did this happen? Why do we keep having to blot out the name of Haman, of Amalek? I said Haman because Haman also. This was a time with Mordechai and Esther, the Purim story, when we were ready to rebuild the second temple, the second holy temple of Jerusalem. And what did the Jews do? They went and took part in the feast of Achashverosh, of King Achashverosh, using the forbidden vessels of the temple that had been scavenged. So Hashem tells us that you have to remember to blot out this memory, and it's not a natural battle. It's not going to be a natural victory. The victory can only come about through our overcoming the evil in the world by doing good, by constantly fighting against the evil actively and fighting to do good in this world. And it is the doing of good, and God will help us to reach that final moment when we haven't physically destroyed Amalek, but God will destroy it. So I wish everybody, there's so much more to say, but not enough time to do it. I'm sorry. I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat. Let us remember to try to blot out evil in this world. If we do our part, then God will add to it. And I wish everybody a very happy and joyous Purim. And I wish all of those who are suffering under the modern day versions of Amalek to turn to God and ask God for salvation, and God will come and help us and save us and bring us to the ultimate redemption. Thank you for listening on behalf of the webyeshiva.org. Shabbat Shalom.